Good job. I'm from the southern part of the state, Baton Rouge. I came to New Hampshire for the first time when I was a student in an awful school in Boston. And I came to Robert Frost's farm in Derry, New Hampshire. Have you ever been there? Yeah. What a great thing. Recommend. The other day, I've been here 6 weeks in a row, 3 days a week. And last week, I went back to Robert Frost's house. And the little mark I made when I was a 16-year-old college student is still there. I wanted to make that confession. It's in the back end of the barn. You can't miss it. But I love New Hampshire. When I left Baton Rouge day before yesterday, it was 102. When I landed in Manchester, it was 61. I said, yes, heaven, heaven. I love being on the cruise with you. I love listening to the other good people running for president. They have excellent ideas. I think we'll have good choices. I'm a little different. And let me tell you what the difference is. I've been out of politics for 20 years. I build banks, community banks, mainstream banks. I build jobs. My bank's about $1 billion big. Started 6 years ago. I built it with these little hands. We didn't take a penny of federal money. We are profitable. We do business with small companies, and we make them strong. I'm the only guy running who's been a governor and a congressman, so I've seen politics at its worst. But I've also been a businessman, and I've seen life at its best. I'm real serious about where we are now. Let me talk 1 minute about it. We're a nation that's not producing any jobs. As a matter of fact, we are a nation that's shoving its manufacturing jobs offshore. Let me say it again. We're in the second decade of getting rid of our best jobs. We have a tax code that allows General Electric to get credit for foreign taxes made and for spending money on building plants overseas. Why are we surprised that our young people can't find work again? We ought to be ashamed of ourselves. Today the unemployment rate came out at 9.1%. I'm unlike these other guys. I'm not for free trade. I'm for fair trade. I've been to China many times, and I'm going to tell you, they talk free, but they have more hidden tariffs on their goods than you can ever imagine. They sell all of their you-know-what in our country, taking away all of our jobs, and we can't sell anything there. I represented a little company in Louisiana for 9 years, selling fire engines, the best in the world. We tried to sell them in China. It took us 7 years to sell the first fire engine. At the same time, they were dumping their products in this country. Now, don't misunderstand me. I'm for competition. Don't misunderstand me. I'm for people working for a living. But aren't you sick and tired of the corporations and the banks in this country giving our jobs away and then crying how they're doing so bad? Last time I checked, the corporations in America were making more money this year than any year in their history. And yet 25% of Americans are either out of work, quit looking, or getting half-time pay. It's not right, and the president ought to stand up to it. I sent Obama a telegram today. 9.1% unemployment. 25% of the people in New Hampshire and America hurting. And what's the president doing? Not one damn thing. I gave him 4 points. Let me tell you what they are. Number one, Mr. President, do away with all regulations since 2008 on small business. Small business grows 2 out of 3 jobs in America, and government has their foot on their throat. Deregulate small business. Number two, Mr. President, let's be energy independent. Aren't you embarrassed that America has to beg China for credit and is addicted to oil from the Middle East? Here's my plan. Let's drill We have new technology. We have clean technology. We've had one accident in the Gulf of Mexico. If a plane goes down, we don't quit flying for a year, do we? Well, we quit drilling for 1 year. It's disgraceful. The price of gasoline has doubled under this president. It can go back again to $1.86. Let's be independent free. And I'll tell you what I'll do specifically. I'll put a tariff on Middle Eastern oil. They will quit sending their oil to America. We'll drill and find it here. We'll use clean coal. We'll use safe nuclear. We'll use natural gas. We'll use solar. We'll use geothermal. We will be energy free by the end of the decade. You know what that does? That's 5 million new jobs that pay $35 an hour. How'd you like one of them? People who can't find work. That's $500 billion we'll quit sending to the Middle East. That is the sum total of our international trade deficit. $500 billion. We'd wipe it out like that. We would increase the value of the dollar, and as it increases, the price of gas will go down. And we'll quit sending our money to nations that slip it on the side to terrorists. And we'll quit sending Marines for oil duty in the Middle East. By God, we will be free again. And it will start with energy, and it means jobs. Number 3, we ought to change our tax code, Mr. President, to quit letting companies expense foreign expenses off their American taxes. Do you know we pay companies to send jobs overseas? How ridiculous can you be? GE made $14.2 billion last year. You know how many United States taxes they paid? Not 1 penny. Not 1 penny. You know why? They wrote the tax code. And this was my 4th point to the president. I run for president taking only $100 gifts. Nothing a penny more. No PAC money. It's the way I've always run. Small contributions. Clean and free. If I get one American out of 100 to give me $100, that's $300 million. I challenge the president to do the same thing. He's running around the country collecting millions of dollars for re-election. And this term is not even over. He went to Wall Street 2 weeks ago and had a fundraiser at $35,000 a ticket. Are you surprised that the big banks brought this country to its knees and they haven't been regulated yet? And not one of them went to jail. Look, I'm a free man. I'm a happy man. I'm a granddad. But I'm old enough to know what to do and young enough to do it. And I'm free. And I will not take a big check. And I will challenge this president to 7 debates across the country. We'll debate foreign policy. We'll debate energy independence. We'll debate scrubbing the budget. We'll debate tax reform. We'll debate immigration policy. We'll debate the foreign policy of this country. I'll challenge him to it. And on the first debate, I'll ask him, who owns you, Mr. President? The Wall Street banks, the tort lawyers, the insurance companies? Because I know it's not the people of America. Look, you don't know me. I am new to you. I've got 3% name recognition in New Hampshire. And I've got 2% of the vote. That ain't bad. Because you know what the #1 man has? 100% name recognition and only 17% of the vote. I'm only 15 points behind Mitt Romney. And he's going to get tired of listening to me. Thank you, New Hampshire.
Thank you, Governor. Thank you. Big round of applause for Governor Roemer. Now, Governor, you don't get to get off the stage that fast. You still have to take questions. All right. No, well, you know, if I start, well, we'll do that on my show tomorrow morning. We'll give you plenty of questions then. Anyone have a question for the governor?
Easy questions are accepted.
Easy questions? All right, let's start with a simple one. Quantitative easing. We've had number 2. Number 3. Will that happen if you're elected president?
Absolutely.
And why not?
Number 2 shouldn't have happened. By the way, quantitative easing 2 is when the federal government loaned itself money by printing new money. That has lowered the value of our dollar by 45%. That's why the price of oil has doubled in the last year. You know, President Obama acted like he was just amazed at why the price of oil went up, why the price of a gallon of gas went up. Well, he quit drilling for a year, and he lowered the value of our money. The price had to go up. We reversed that. Folks, I'm not a magician, and I don't know what the future holds, but I'll guarantee you this. If we become energy independent, the price of gasoline will go down, and the number of Marines in Saudi Arabia will go down as well.
Well, let's drill in the Gulf. Drill, baby, drill. I like that. Anybody like that? By the way, let me give you a little fact. It costs, if Obama gets his way, about $1.3 million a day for a rig to sit, not working in the Gulf. And we have seen over 40% of them leave since his so-called moratorium. Governor Buddy Roemer from Louisiana, thank you, my friend. See you on Bourbon Street sometime. Stay up there. Governor Johnson, come on up here. Jan Glassman, come on up here. Everyone take a look. Where's the rest of the Belknap County Committee? They're all having drinks around the place. Bill O'Brien, if you're around. I just want to say a thank you to everyone who worked, everyone who attended, bought sponsorships, donated. Alan, you have a few thank yous you'd like to make?
Yes, I would just like to thank all of our candidates here, Governor Johnson and Governor Roemer, certainly Governor Huntsman as well, who already got off the boat. You didn't catch that name, okay.
No, Gary.
Yeah. All right, okay. And I'd like to thank all